Hi everyone, welcome back. First of all, happy Pride Month. I have put up my Pride tree here on the other side of my sofa. That's why this looks a little bit different. I'm just on the left-hand side of the sofa as opposed to the right-hand side where I normally film over there. So this is a Pride tree that I'm very enamored with. I'll put a whole clip of it so you can see the full thing because really it just looks like a small cluster of rainbow right here. I gotta figure out how to properly film with this thing beside me though. Maybe this is just the shot, but I kind of want to display more of it somehow. Anyway, moving on. That is not what this video is about. This video is going to be about frivolous things that I wish I had purchased before going into isolation or quarantine or whatever we want to call it. And I thought this would be kind of fun because I've put myself basically on a no-buy until I don't know when, really, but we went into quarantine. I'm like, look, I just don't want to spend money on frivolous things because I don't need that right now, and I don't know what's going to happen with the economy, and while my job is secure, stuff can change, right? So I just didn't want to be spending money on makeup. But that being said, there are things that I wish that I had purchased before I stopped buying things. So I want to talk about those today. So the first one that I'm really upset that I didn't get my hands on before going into lockdown is the Glam cake palette. Oh my goodness, this thing is gorgeous. And I'm not too familiar with Glam aside from the fact that I know that they make a lot of food-based eyeshadow palettes, and they've never fundamentally appealed to me because they were like a burger palette and there was like a taco one, I think, and those just, I don't know, they didn't seem that interesting to me. But the cake palette is a rainbow palette and it's gorgeous. It isn't just matte rainbow colors or shimmery rainbow colors. There's a whole mix in there, which makes it so much more enticing to use. And I think it was Angie's video that I saw her do like a try on of the cake palette on her channel. I'll link to that down below. That really turned me on to the palette too, because she doesn't love rainbow palettes. She likes color, but she doesn't love rainbow palettes. And when she used that palette and just the way she talked about it, I was like, I really want it. Now I do think that this one is backstocked or on back order for several months now. Like I don't even think that they're shipping them out until like July. So maybe at some point I'll pick it up, but dang, this thing is so freaking pretty. I even love the fact that it comes in like this little flip out oven thing and then you sort of pull the cake out of the oven. I just think the packaging is genius and I love the colors in there, and it sounds like the quality is really good too. The next thing I really wish that I had stocked up on was some Bath & Body Works candles. Now I know people tend to buy like all kinds of them, but I really only stick to 2 scents. We burn leaves in the cold months, and I've got a huge number of those sitting in my closet for whatever reason. But the one that we burn during the warmer months is Tiki Beach, and I have like the very end of one left and that's it. And I realize it's pretty superficial, but I'm a little bit upset that I don't have any more of them, and Bath & Body Works shipping to Canada, to my knowledge, is really difficult. Like there is no warehouse in Canada, so if you're ordering it from the US, I think the shipping is something stupid like 30 bucks, which maybe makes sense because candles are super freaking heavy, but I know for sure that that thing is going to get nailed at the border with customs charges, and I'm like, is it really worth the hassle? But honestly, I'm missing those candles so much right now that I'm like, maybe I'll just do it. I don't know though, because I'd want to order like probably 6 to 10 of them, because generally we burn through 1 candle a month in our main room. Yeah, and I'm sad that I just don't have any more of the Tiki Beach scent, because we're burning leaves right now, but it feels so wrong because it's like warm outside, there's sun, there is trees all in bloom right now, and I'm like, I don't want to be burning my winter candle. I know, seriously, like insignificant in the grand scheme of things, and I'm like, darn it. It's just one of those things that I wish I had on hand, because I do tend to backstock my candles so that I'm prepared for the next season, but I wasn't thinking about spring and summer candles in March, I guess, before we went into quarantine, and I'm just like, darn it. And if you're not familiar with the Tiki Beach scent, it's a little bit tropical, but not too much. I find it a little bit cleaner than some of the super like pineapple and coconutty scents, because I don't really get a fruit scent off of it, although I think the description of it does have some fruit in it. For me, it's mostly like beachy, refreshing. I know that's not really a great way to profile a scent, but that's what it smells like to me, and it's just so nice. The next one's a little bit of an odd one. I wrote down that I wish I'd stocked up on Milk Makeup's skincare stuff. And I'm not really sure what is so appealing about Milk Makeup skincare stuff right now, but there's something about it and I want it. I want to be using it. And it might be the fact that I'm using so many more skincare products at home right now. Like I'm doing a lot of masks, which is not fairly common for me because I feel like at best I was doing a mask like a face mask once every 2 weeks. Now it feels like I'm doing them like every other day. So maybe that's why I just want to be a little bit more entertained by my skincare. And Milk Makeup has some fascinating skincare stuff. Like for whatever reason, I'm just really drawn in by their packaging and a lot of those little twist up tubes and just like facials by them. So I don't know a lot about the brand as a whole, but every time I see like a new skincare product that Milk has come out with, I'm like, dang, that looks really interesting. And I haven't bought any because I don't really need it. And the price point for a lot of their products is super expensive. Like when I bought that Milk Makeup, the mini bronzing stick, the little darn tiny thing that ended up breaking on me, so aggravating. That thing was 20 bucks and like a full size is like $46. Like it's astronomical, the price tag on some of their stuff. But yeah, it's just one of those ones that I kind of wish I'd bought some before going into quarantine, but honestly, I probably wasn't even thinking about it back then. But now I'm interested. Okay, the next one is another eyeshadow palette that is a rainbow palette. How appropriate, really. But my love of rainbow palettes is pretty well known at this point. The September Rose Slush palette. I'd seen a few videos on it and I was interested, but not totally, you know, like over the fence about buying it kind of thing. And it wasn't until I saw my friend Dominica do some Instagram looks with the Slush palette and I was like, oh, now I wish I had it. Dominica has a wonderful eye for color and she started to post a lot more of her looks on Instagram. So if I can find the ones featuring the September Rose Slush palette, I'll put some here so you can get an idea of the beautiful looks that she's come up with. But the way she was putting together her looks really made me want to go pick it up. And I mean, it is a rainbow palette. It's kind of the same as the Cake palette in the sense that it's got mattes and shimmers in a wide variety of rainbow colors. And I know I don't need any more rainbow palettes, but obviously I'm enticed by it. And I don't think I'm gonna pick this one up at the end of the day, but I might be convinced otherwise. And really, I don't know how long I'm going to be on a no buy. So this is all really hypothetical, but this is one of those ones I'm like, I would have just snapped it up if I was spending money kind of willy-nilly. Also, interestingly enough, with the Cake palette and the Slush palette, those are from indie brands that I've never tried before. And I've definitely started to lean a little bit more towards indie brands recently, just because I feel like they're producing things that are a little bit more unconventional and therefore far more interesting than whatever else is out on the market right now, because I feel like so many of the launches, like I'm still following launches because I think it's fun, and I'm looking at trend mood mostly, but so many of the launches lately are just like bleh, which is fine because I'm not buying anything. But at the same point, it's like it's tiring to get continuously bored by something that is supposed to entertain me, right? Like how ridiculous is it that I love makeup, but all the launches that are coming out by the mainstream brands now are just boring me to tears. So it's really nice to see that indie brands are doing something completely different because they're just doing way more interesting things. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna mention on my little post-it note here is something that's not especially frivolous, but it's one of those things that I never thought I needed that much more of until I got into quarantine. Underwear. What is with the amount of underwear that I'm going through lately? It must be because that I'm running on my lunch hour. So I've already gotten sort of dressed for the day, put on a clean pair of underwear, go for a run, then come home, shower, and then change my underwear again, obviously. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I never thought I was gonna be the person who was gonna be running through multiple pairs of underwear in a day. And yes, I could go order them online, but my favorite brand right now, which is Aerie, doesn't have the ones that I want, and I'm just like, why did I not buy like 40 more pairs of underwear when it was readily accessible to me? And it's just one of those things where I'm like constantly looking at their website being like, okay, when is the one that I want coming back in stock? And it hasn't happened yet, but I'm still stalking that website. But it's so ridiculous to me how much laundry I'm doing just based on my underwear. Like, is anybody else running into this problem in like quarantine? And like I have plenty of underwear, so I'm not really at fear of completely running out of, I don't know, I might have 20, 25 pairs. But you know when you get to the end of like using all the comfortable ones up and you're like, you've got 2 or 3 pairs of underwear that is just like, ugh, now I know it's time to do laundry. When I have to put those on, that's when I know that I need more underwear in my collection. So anyway, I really hope that Aerie starts restocking their boy shorts in the Shine style with a lace band, because those are the most comfortable to me. Is it boy shorts or boy briefs? I always thought that they were called bikini style, but like I feel like in recent years they've kind of like swapped bikini and boy short. Anyway, that is gonna be it for this video. Funny to end on the underwear note. But those are things that I wish I had picked up before going into lockdown. Some are more readily accessible to me, some I just won't buy because I'm not buying any makeup right now, but I thought that this would be kind of funny to talk about the things that I wish I was spending my money on. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting, funny, or at least, you know, mildly entertaining. If you're not buying anything right now and you wish that you'd bought it before going into quarantine, please let me know. I'm curious if there's things that other people out there wish that they had picked up before, you know, going into lockdown. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.